Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news tonight on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Gujarat High Court commutes death sentence of 11 convicts to life in Godhra Sabarmati Express coach burning case. State government and railways told to compensate families of those killed in Godhra train burning case. The Supreme Court restores ban on sale of crackers in Delhi NCR region till October 31st, says order might require a review after Diwali depending on the ambient air quality after the festival. Delhi High Court gives centre 6 months to look into the issue of political parties receiving contributions. Home Ministry had sought extension of time till March 31st, 2018 to comply with the court's decisions. Trump administration ties future deal on allowing young undocumented immigrants to stay in America to further clamp down measures on illegal immigration, seeks funding for wall with Mexico and speedier deportations. The Gujarat High Court on Monday commuted death sentence of 11 convicts in the 2002 Godhra train carnage case to life imprisonment. It also upheld the life sentence awarded by the Special SIT Court to 20 others in the case. Details of the verdict in this report.
More than 2 years after the hearing concluded in the Godhra train burning case, the Gujarat High Court on Monday pronounced the judgment on a clutch of appeal petitions challenging the special trial court sentencing. Upholding the findings of the special trial court, the division bench of the Gujarat High Court commuted capital punishment to rigorous life imprisonment for 11 convicts and upheld life sentence for 20 others.
11 आदमी से जिनको फांसी की सजा हुई थी उसको कम्यूट करके नामदार हाई कोर्ट ने उसको लाइफ इंप्रिजनमेंट कर दिया है.
The court also held that the state government had failed in discharging its duty in maintaining law and order during the incident. It also directed the state and the railways to compensate families of those killed in the train fire.
कॉम्पेंसेशन में नामदार हाई कोर्ट ने 10 लाख रुपया जो गुजर गए उनको 10 लाख रुपया और बाकी लोग जो इजा हुई थी उनको उनकी इजा के हिसाब से वर्ता देने का हुक्म किया हुआ है.
The judgment was hailed by Muslim groups, although they said they plan to go to the Supreme Court for acquittal.
अदालतें इंसाफ करती हैं, जैसा कि तब्दीली हुई है निचली अदालत के फैसले को हाई कोर्ट ने जो फांसी की सजा थी उसको उम्र कैद में तब्दील किया है, तो इंसाफ मिला और हम समझते हैं कि हम आगे जाएंगे सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाएंगे तो वहां इससे ज्यादा हमको इंसाफ मिलेगा और ये सब लोग बरी होंगे.
The BJP said it's glad that the court accepted the findings of the SIT that a conspiracy was hatched by the accused a day before the arrival of the Sabarmati Express train.
जिस तरह से आरोपियों को सजा दी है, इसका मतलब जो कांग्रेस ने एक जानबूझकर एक फर्जीवाड़ा किया था एक कमीशन के तहत कि भाई यह अंदर से आग लगी थी, हादसा था, यानी मर गए बेचारे, उन्हीं को दोष देने की कोशिश कर रहे थे. यहाँ मैंने जो देखा है तो मुझे लगता है कि कोर्ट का मतलब है कि ये बाहर से हमला हुआ और ये जो हमला हुआ ये एक साजिश थी, ये कोर्ट ने आज माना है. यही मुख्य मुद्दा है.
On 27 February 2002, coach number S6 of the Sabarmati Express train was torched by a mob at Godhra railway station, in which 59 people, mostly car sevaks, were burned to death. A day later, the incident triggered widespread communal riots in various parts of Gujarat. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, it will be a cleaner Diwali in Delhi and its surrounding areas this year. The Supreme Court today banned the sale of firecrackers till November 1st, saying it wants to assess the impact on the air quality. It did clarify that those who have already bought firecrackers can still burst them on October 19th. Here's a report.
Supreme Court has imposed a complete ban on the sale of firecrackers in Delhi and NCR ahead of Diwali. The ban will remain in effect till October 31st. The order came on a plea seeking restoration of last year's order in which the Apex Court had suspended all licenses that allowed the sale of fireworks within NCR.
Well, the Supreme Court has said that its last year's order of 11th November banning the sale of firecrackers in Delhi will continue to take effect till 31st of October 2017. That means all temporary and permanent licenses in Delhi to sell firecrackers immediately stand suspended forthwith, is what the Supreme Court has made very clear.
The SC bench, headed by Justice A.K. Sikri, also said that the top court's September 12th order of temporarily lifting the stay and permitting sale of firecrackers would be effective from the 1st of November. The court, however, said its order of lifting the ban might require a review after Diwali, depending on the ambient air quality after the festival.
10 बजे तक चलें, 11 बजे तक चलने चाहिए, पोल्यूशन वाले नहीं चलने चाहिए। ये हमारे हिंदुस्तान का एक ऐतिहासिक पर्व है, इसको जरूर मनाना चाहिए और रोक एक लिमिट तक ही होनी चाहिए अगर है भी है।
इससे बीमारियां भी बहुत हो रही हैं, लोगों को दिक्कत भी हो रही है, तो मैं भी यही चाहूँगा कि सब लोग गवर्नमेंट का फैसला माने और पोल्यूशन से बचें।
कोर्ट ने ये बैन लगाया तो बिल्कुल ठीक लगाया है, पोल्यूशन दिवाली के बाद बहुत हो जाता है।
Last year, air quality in NCR plunged to severe levels the morning after Diwali. The rest of the season saw Delhiites choking and coughing their way with the PM 2.5 levels reaching 199, 16 times over the safe limit of 60. Reactions across Delhi have been mixed. While a few Delhiites claim the Festival of Lights will lose its essence, cracker manufacturers call it a drastic step that would impact livelihoods. But environmentalists have hailed the SC's move. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, over to news relating to funding of political parties. Now, the Delhi High Court has granted 6 months' time to the centre to look into the accounts of political parties, including the Congress and the BJP, for traces of foreign funds. A two-judge bench of the High Court said this was the last opportunity being given to the Ministry of Home Affairs for compliance of its 2014 judgment. The court found both the BJP and the Congress flouting norms of the FCRA by accepting donations from Indian subsidiaries of UK-based Vedanta Resources. In March 2014, the High Court had ordered the Election Commission and the Ministry of Home Affairs to look into the accounts of political parties and take action within 6 months. But the MHA had sought extension of time till March 31, 2018 to comply with the court's directions. Well, the BJP on Monday took their Jan Raksha Yatra protest to the national capital against the alleged atrocities and killings of RSS and BJP workers in Kerala. Union Ministers Kiran Rijiju and General V.K. Singh, who led the protest in Delhi, blamed the CPM and Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan for the killings.
Minister of State for Home Kiran Rijiju on Monday attacked the CPM and Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan for the political murders of BJP and RSS workers in the state. Rijiju, who took part in the Jan Raksha Yatra of the BJP in Delhi, also added that the party will soon expose the Pinarayi Vijayan government. Union Minister General V.K. Singh along with other BJP leaders participated in the protest.
हमारे देश के विरुद्ध जितने भी तथ्य हैं उनको हम बहुत ज्यादा दिन तक इस देश में टिकने नहीं देंगे। देश के विरुद्ध जो ताकतें हैं उनमें से एक बहुत बड़ा जो वर्ग है वो हिंदुस्तान के कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी है, जो देश के विरुद्ध काम करते रहते हैं। उनके सोच विचार, उनके विचारधारा सारा भारत देश विरोधी है। जिस प्रकार से वामपंथी सरकार ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी और हमारे साथ चल रहे राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ के लोगों के प्रति जो एक का राजनीतिक हत्याएं की हैं, उनका जवाब तभी होगा जब हम जनता को जगा सके और उन्हें बता सके कि किस प्रकार वामपंथियों का साथ नहीं देना है।
Hundreds of BJP leaders and workers marched from Connaught Place to the CPM office in Gold Market area to protest against the killings. The Delhi police had to use water cannons to disperse the protesting workers of the BJP.
जो केरला में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के और संघ परिवार से जुड़े हुए चुनिंदा कार्यकर्ताओं को एक-एक करके निशाना बनाया जा रहा है, उसकी घोर शब्दों में निंदा करता हूं। जो हमारे साथियों की नृशंस हत्याएं वामपंथी सरकार द्वारा की जा रही हैं, उसका रोष है। हम कोई हिंसा नहीं करते, हमने कोई लड़ाई झगड़ा नहीं किया, कोई वायलेंस नहीं की। एक अपना गुस्सा है, एक बैरिकेड पे आता है युवा साथी, उसका गुस्सा स्वाभाविक है। अगर आप उसे पीछे धकेलेंगे तो वो रिएक्ट होगा और कोई देखिए किसी ने को पथराव नहीं किया।
Protests were also held in Hyderabad and Bengaluru.
आज कम्युनिस्ट लोग हमारे हजारों सैकड़ों कार्यकर्ताओं की हत्या की है। आज जनता को ये मालूम पड़ना चाहिए कि किस प्रकार से सीपीएम हमारे जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं को हत्या कर रही है। ये हमारे प्रजातंत्र के लिए, लोकतंत्र के लिए ठीक नहीं है।
सीपीएम पार्टी केरला में लगातार भारतीय जनता पार्टी आरएसएस नेताओं के ऊपर अत्याचार कर रहे, लगभग 300-400 कार्यकर्ताओं को हत्या किया गया।
The BJP on Sunday kicked off the Jan Raksha Yatra in New Delhi, led by party chief Amit Shah, similar to the Padyatra the BJP launched in Kerala on October 3rd. The party will take out the Jan Raksha Yatra every day from every state capital till 16th October. Earlier this week, BJP chief Amit Shah had kicked off the Jan Raksha Yatra from Kannur in Kerala. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
In a major breakthrough for security forces in Jammu and Kashmir, a top Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist commander, Umair Khalid, has been killed in Ladura area of North Kashmir. One of the most wanted terrorists, Umair Khalid, was killed in a joint operation by the Jammu and Kashmir Police's Special Operation Group, local police, the CRPF and the army. Khalid, who is a Pakistani national, had been operational in the area for the last 2 to 3 years and was also instrumental in arranging recruits for the terror outfit Jaish-e-Mohammed. Police also claimed that he had recently carried out an attack on a special police officer and his 7-year-old son at Handwara. Khalid was an A++ category ranked terrorist and carried a cash reward of nearly 7 lakh rupees.
ये इन्वॉल्व सिविलियन किलिंग्स, पुलिस पर्सनल किलिंग और सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस पे अटैक में भी मुलव्विस रहा है और इसने कई फिदाइन अटैक्स और उसमें भी इसने अपना प्लानिंग में और उसके एग्जीक्यूशन में इसका काफ़ी रोल रहा है.
In another encounter with the terrorists, an army soldier was killed in Khag area of Budgam district. The slain soldier has been identified as Subedar Rajkumar, a junior commissioned officer of 24 Punjab Regiment. Calling India one of the fastest growing economies of the world, Home Minister Rajnath Singh today cautioned against anti-India forces who are not unable to appreciate these economic trends. Speaking at the passing out parade of the CISF trainees in Arakonam in Tamil Nadu, the minister said terrorism was a major threat in many countries. He urged the CISF to hold regular security audits to ensure there were no terror attacks on the country's strategic installations. He also asked the force to develop a special wing to deal with cyber terrorism.
घटनाओं ने यह दिखाया है कि आतंकवादी हमलों का असर लंबे समय तक महसूस होता है. आतंकवाद के खिलाफ सीआईएसएफ का कोर कॉम्पिटेंस रहना चाहिए, ऐसा मैं मानता हूं, ताकि राष्ट्र विरोधी ताकतें भारत के इंपॉर्टेंट स्ट्रेटेजिक इंस्टॉलेशन को भी निशाना न बना पाएं. आतंकवाद का एक और नया स्वरूप बड़ी तेजी से सामने आ रहा है और वह है साइबर टेररिज्म, जिसके तहत हमलावर डिजिटल रास्तों से महत्वपूर्ण इंस्टॉलेशंस को निशाना बनाने की कोशिश करते हैं. इसलिए सीआईएसएफ को साइबर टेररिज्म का सामना करने के लिए भी अपने को टेक्नोलॉजिकली एडवांस बनाने की जरूरत होगी.
Well, a UGC panel has recommended dropping words like Hindu and Muslim from the names of universities. The panel has said that the words Hindu and Muslim in Banaras Hindu University and Aligarh Muslim University do not reflect the secular character of the centrally funded universities. The panel said that the universities can simply be called Aligarh University and Banaras University or be renamed after their founders. The panel was formed to probe the alleged irregularities in 10 central universities, and the recommendations have been made in the audit report of AMU.
नहीं, बीएचयू और एमयू के नाम बदलने का कोई निर्णय सरकार का नहीं है और ये कमेटियां जो नियुक्त की थी वो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव, एकेडमिक और रिसर्च ऑडिट के लिए की है, तो उसमें क्या उनकी सिफारिश है वो हम देखेंगे. जो उनके मैंडेट में नहीं है उन सिफारिशों का अभी मुद्दा नहीं है.
हिंदू और मुस्लिम का वर्ड हटाने से कुछ सेकुलर हो जाएगा, कोई सेकुलर हो जाएगा, ये जो कंसेप्ट है ये मैं नहीं मानता. ये देश पंथ निरपेक्ष देश है, ये देश सेकुलर देश है और हम सेकुलरिज्म के रास्ते पे चलते हैं.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today held discussions with CEOs of top global and Indian oil and gas companies on ways to revive investment in oil and gas exploration and production. Companies that took part in the meeting included BP from UK, Russia's Rosneft, Saudi Aramco and Reliance Industries. The main theme of the meeting was to seek investment in exploration and production, processing, transportation and distribution network in oil and gas. Prime Minister Modi thanked Russia and Saudi Arabia for their cooperation to India in energy sector. He stressed the need to develop energy infrastructure and access to energy in East India. He flagged the potential of biomass energy and also invited participation and joint ventures in coal gasification. Niti Aayog also made a short presentation on the likely scenario of demand and supply by 2030 and current government policies. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today met Lithuania Foreign Minister Linas Linkevicius. Linkevicius is on a 4-day visit to India. A high-level delegation also accompanied the minister at the meeting held at the Vice President's house. The delegation discussed bilateral ties between India and Lithuania and highlighted similarities between the Lithuanian language and Sanskrit. The visit marks the celebration of 25 years of diplomatic relations between India and Lithuania. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi today began his 3-day Yuva Rozgar Kedut Adhikar Navsarjan Yatra from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. He visited the birthplace of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in Kheda at Nandiad district. Later in his address in Kheda, Congress Vice President said that development will be achieved only if his party forms a government in the upcoming elections. He also said while China is creating 50,000 jobs every day, the Modi government is able to generate just 450 jobs per day.
गुजरात में कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार आएगी। हम आपको अपनी मन की बात नहीं बताएंगे, हम आपकी मन की बात सुनेंगे। देश के सामने सबसे बड़ी चुनौती रोजगार की है। 2-3 आंकड़े मैं आपको देना चाहता हूं। हर 24 घंटे 30,000 नए युवा हिंदुस्तान में रोजगार ढूंढने निकलते हैं। बेरोजगार लोगों की सेना बन रही है। 30,000 में से 24 घंटे में मोदी जी की सरकार 450 युवाओं को रोजगार देती है। चीन के साथ हमारा मुकाबला है। एक दिन में चीन में 50,000 युवाओं को रोजगार मिलता है। चीन में 50,000 और हिंदुस्तान में 450, ये फर्क है।
Well, it's time for a short break now, but News Now Place will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Private investments are lowest, GDP has been falling, there are not many jobs.
Within 6 months, situation will change, GDP will increase and people will get the relief.
The top minds within the BJP, they have also started speaking about economy. The way Yashwant Sinha ji and Arun Shourie have written.
In party, anyone who have problem, before going to the press, we are expecting that he should come to our party president.
Can Mr. Nitin Gadkari rejuvenate the dying Ganga river before the general elections?
I am confident that before end of March, we will start all this program and we will try our level best to give the good results.
Watch To The Point with Union Minister Nitin Jairam Gadkari only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, in another controversial move, the Trump administration has issued a list of hardline immigration demands that includes funding for a wall along the southern border and a crackdown on Central American minors. The proposal is part of a deal to allow young undocumented immigrants known as dreamers to stay in the country legally. Democrats immediately rejected the administration's priorities, calling it beyond reasonable. Here are more details.
The White House has tied any new deal on young undocumented immigrants to a clampdown on illegal immigration, including a border wall with Mexico. US President Donald Trump is asking for funding for the wall, speedier deportations, and the hiring of thousands of new immigration officials. Last month, he ended the Obama-era Dreamer program, which had protected some 690,000 immigrants, and said,
"Well, we're working on a plan subject to getting massive border control. We're working on a plan for DACA. People want to see that happen. You have 800,000 young people, no fault of their own. So we're working on a plan. We'll see how it works out. But we're going to get massive border security as part of that. And I think something can happen. We'll see what happens, but something will happen."
The list of principles delivered by the White House to the Congress on Sunday includes constructing the border wall with Mexico, employing 10,000 additional immigration and customs enforcement officers, and 1,000 lawyers for the agency. Also hiring an extra 370 immigration judges and 300 federal prosecutors, banning immigrants from bringing their extended family members to the US, penalizing sanctuary cities that have resisted the Trump administration's efforts to crack down on illegal immigrants, and having companies use an E-Verify program to keep illegal immigrants from getting jobs. Trump told Congress it had 6 months to come up with legislation to help the Dreamers, who are a fraction of the 11 million illegal immigrants in the United States, most of whom are Hispanic. The inclusion of border wall funding in the list could prompt Democrats to accuse Trump of rowing back earlier suggestions that he would keep the wall issue separate from an initiative to help DACA recipients. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the United States and Turkey have halted all non-immigrant visa services, escalating diplomatic tensions between the two NATO allies. The latest move comes after one of the US consulate employees in Istanbul was arrested on charges of links to a cleric, Fethullah Gulen, who is blamed for last year's failed coup. The US has termed the allegations baseless. In a statement, the American embassy in Ankara said that the recent events forced the US government to reassess Turkey's commitment to the security of US mission services and personnel in the country. While responding to Washington's move, Turkey also suspended all visa services for Americans in the US, saying the measures also apply to visas issued online and at the border. US-Turkish tensions have risen over US military support of Kurdish YPG fighters in Syria, considered by Ankara to be an extension of the banned PKK, which has waged an insurgency for 3 decades in southeast Turkey. US economist Richard Thaler won the Nobel Prize for Economics for his contribution in the field of behavioral economics. The award-giving body said Thaler was given the Nobel for his pioneering work to bridge the gap between economics and psychology. The jury said that by exploring the consequences of limited rationality, social preferences and lack of self-control, Thaler had shown how these human traits systematically affect individual decisions as well as market outcomes. Here's a roundup of some other international news and global buzz. The National Accountability Bureau today arrested ousted Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's son-in-law as he arrived in Pakistan. He was given bail along with his wife Mariam Nawaz. Captain Mohammad Safdar was taken into custody and accountability court in a case pertaining to Sharif's family properties in London. At least 12 Rohingya Muslim refugees, mainly children, drowned when their boats capsized on the way to Bangladesh today. The boat sank near Shah Piror Dweep on the southern tip of Bangladesh. At least 8 people were rescued. The dead bodies included 10 children, a woman and a man. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's 28-year-old sister was promoted to the state's top decision-making body. It made her only the second woman in patriarchal North Korea to join the exclusive club after Kim Kyung-hui, who held powerful roles when her brother Kim Jong-II ruled the country. The International Committee of the Red Cross will drastically cut back operations in Afghanistan following attacks that have killed 7 of its staff this year. Red Cross officials said that the assessments are ongoing and could not say how many of its 1,800 staff would be affected. The Red Cross had already warned of the threat to its operations following a series of attacks over the past year. Well, let's now shift focus and bring you up to speed with some sports news in Sports Beat. India won 3 medals, including a gold, a silver and a bronze in the World Archery Youth Championship in Rosario, Argentina. 9th-seeded Indian pair of Jemson and Ankita Bhak defeated their Russian opponent 6-2 in the final of the mixed event. In the men's team event, Sukhmani and Gajanan as well as Atul Verma bagged a silver. In the compound Kiret women's event, Kushbu Dayal, Sanchita Tiwari and Divya Dawal won bronze for India. Anupama Ramchandran clinched the World Open Under-16 Snooker Championship title at St. Petersburg in Russia in the girls category. Second-seeded Anupama defeated compatriot and top-seeded Kirtana Pandyan 3-1. In the semi-finals, she defeated Albina Leshchuk of Belarus 3-0 and Alexandra Ryabinina of Russia in the quarterfinals. Well, that's it on this newscast. Good night.